to lower that microphone a little bit. I'm short. Thank you very much, Daniel, Safrina. It's lovely being back in Indonesia. I love this country. I mean, it's just a wonderful country. And when I arrived here, the first question I was asked was, is it possible that Indonesia can grow at 8% in 1 year? That was the question. Yep. Now, remember, I'm an economist. I'm just an economist. I'm not a sociologist. I'm not a physicist. I'm just an economist. So I look at everything from the standpoint of economics. And when I look at this country, the question, can Indonesia grow at 8%? Of course it can. For goodness sakes, this is Indonesia. You have a young population. You have an educated population. You have an enthusiastic, entrepreneurial population. Just look at Jakarta. You drive out and see the energy, the happiness, the thing. Of course you can. The question is, what type of government policies will be the policies that will allow Indonesia to become really, truly prosperous and grow at 8%? And when you look at economics, economics is all about incentives. People like doing things they find attractive, and they dislike doing things they find unattractive. And the government can, through its policies, change the attractiveness of activities. You've got the people, you've got the nation, you've got the resources. The question is, will the structure of government be in such a position as to allow Indonesia to shoot to the stars, to go there? You know, the best people on earth with bad economic policies always fail. And even the worst people on earth, if the incentive structure is correct, they can succeed way beyond their wildest dreams. It's all about incentives there. And, you know, when you look at taxes, and just on a common sense level of taxes, have you ever heard of a country that taxed itself into prosperity? No, it can't happen. You know, when you tax something, you get less of it. When you subsidize something, you get more of it. What you need on taxes is a government that understands its role properly. The government is not there to change the outcome. If it's a card game and you are not dealt a good hand, or if you are dealt a good hand but you don't know how to play that hand, that's your problem. What you want the government to do is to make sure that there's no crookedness in the card dealings. Government is the referee to allow the economy to be what it can be. And with taxes, what it comes there is taxes should not favor one group over another group. You should have the lowest possible tax rate on the broadest possible tax base with the least numbers of deductions, exemptions, exclusions, omissions, preferences. A low rate, broad-based, flat tax, that's the proper tax structure. And let people go from there. On government spending, the second grand kingdom of macroeconomics, on government spending, we all need government spending, but government spending is good in many, many areas. We need government. We need your judiciary. We need roads. We need schools. We need defense. We need all these. But anything beyond what the government does best is not good. You need spending restraint on government. Have you ever heard of a poor person spending himself into wealth? It's silly in the extreme. You want modest government. You want it to where the government retains a size, a small size, and allows the economy to grow. On money, the third grand kingdom of macroeconomics, you need a sound currency. You need a stable, valued currency. You need low interest rates where people can do long-term contracts together. It's really very important that we have sound money. Low rate, broad-based, flat tax, spending restraint, and sound money. On regulations, we all know we need regulations. You can't drive on the left-hand side of the road one day and then choose to drive on the right-hand side the second day. But what you want to make sure is that those regulations do not go beyond the specific purposes at hand and create collateral damage that does more damage than good. You want to make sure that you have restraint on regulation. I was in Turkey a number of years ago with Erdogan and the administration during the Great Recession. And Erdogan privatized all of the government-run companies there. He privatized the airlines, Turkish Air. Today, Turkish Air, which is private, is the single best airline in the EU. He privatized those airlines. You've got to make sure that you don't regulate beyond. If you look at the last kingdom of macroeconomics, if I may, is trade. There are some things that Indonesians produce more efficiently than foreigners do. And there are some things foreigners produce more efficiently than Indonesians do. Everyone would be foolish in the extreme if Indonesia did not produce and sell those products they make more efficiently than foreigners, and foreigners sell and produce to Indonesia those products they make more efficiently than Indonesians. It's called a win-win. It's the gains from trade. When you look at the government's role in here, the government's role is to unleash the power and the wisdom and the knowledge and the ambitions of the people. Government doesn't create prosperity. The people do. The government is the umpire in the game to make sure that there is no crookedness in the dealings. Low rate, broad base, flat tax, spending restraint, sound money, minimal regulations, and free trade, and then get the heck out of the way and let Indonesia create prosperity. I have all the hopes in the world for you, and I know you can do it. Thank you.